games when people are happy and
That was very
get a
true.
chance to figure out what roles everybody plays and things. I wanted to drop at the Circle K and get like some ice cream and shit, but I didn't get a chance because people want games casted and things.
Yeah, real dicks,
Life is hard, man.
indeed.
And I have like 2 review sessions um for like 2 of my classes tomorrow. So I'm so sad, but and I can't go back to sleep because I decided to sleep in. Oh wait, there's no sushi. Why are you banning Blitz if there's no sushi on the other
They do
team?
have Jamal's son, who's been playing a
Oh,
lot of
that's
Blitz.
true. So what is the difference between Jamal's son and I'm Jamal? Finally, the targeted ban.
Oh, watch Jamal's son go top because Jamal's son wants to go against Genocide George. I think they want to have a grudge match. That was kind of like you ban my champion, I ban yours.
All right, it's on now. Oh shoot, wait. Wally's team banning out the Skarner.
Mm-hmm.
Huh, interesting. Poor George, he's crying. So sad. You should just pick Varus. He's right here on my screen.
Yeah, I know, right? Lee Sin being banned, but not really, I think, targeted at anyone.
No, I think it's more like, well, Lee Sin, super annoying to deal with. I'd like to see somebody play Rammus. I mean, I just haven't seen him in so long. What do you think about Rammus in his current state?
I think he's not what he used to be. Um, and I personally don't really see the point of choosing him over maybe Jungle Alistair or Jungle Maokai.
I mean, he's
Because
still got that super long taunt CC.
yeah, I mean, but I don't know. I just don't think that it's as easy to actually taunt who you want to taunt. Plus, the taunt is cleansable and QSSable. So his early ganks are decent, but they're not anything compared to an Alistair.
Hmm.
Alistair, of course, his knock up and knockback are unaffected by tenacity. So, um, I think it's like a half second knockback and a like a 0.8 second knock up. So that is, best case scenario, 1.3 seconds of like kind of disables regardless of tenacity or cleanse or QSS or anything. Whereas Rammus, anytime you see Rammus picked and you're playing AD, or even if you're playing an AP champ, it's easy to counter him just by picking up that cleanse. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I mean, Rammus's only real strength is his single target CC, and if all you care about is single target CC to get some good early game ganks, pick someone else. And
All right.
if you want kind of mid game ganks, pick Warwick. If you want good scaling throughout the game, play someone with maybe a little bit more damage. But no, I just think Rammus is very easy to kind of counter jungle. Uh, Champions like Vayne and Tarek, who can just stun him before he gets in range to put that taunt down, also very strong and just sort of easy to shut down. And really, I guess what carried Rammus into being a top ban is
Hmm.
the amount of armor and MR he also got from DBC, which has
Yeah.
been nerfed like 3 times in a row now, so just not quite as good. We do see, by the way, the Olaf picks. Another great way to counter a lot of these tanky junglers like Rammus or Alistair is with an Olaf who's got, I think, about 230 true damage on something like a 2 second cooldown if you build some CDR. So that's another thing that really shuts down a Rammus. We do see Shyvana picked up by Purple Team. Shyvana, obviously, one of the fastest junglers in the game. Faster, I think, than Phoenix Udyr. Not quite as fast as Mundo on the small camps. I think the Burning Agony on Mundo is a little bit higher damage than Shyvana's Burn Out.
Hmm.
However, Shyvana does clear larger camps slightly faster because, unlike Mundo, you almost always see a Shyvana build Wriggles, and she does have that twin bite. And a lot of people, I think, actually, Elements just recently released a new tier list saying that Shyvana
Let's not talk about that tier list, dude. Oh
saying that
God.
Shyvana was a slower jungler than Mundo, and it's just
How is Shaco a 24th or 23rd on the jungle tier list?
you know,
How
I
is
don't know.
that a thing?
I think I think the other thing is that it's really apples to oranges. So it's you can break down junglers into different classes and then compare them,
Hmm.
but you can't say Mundo is the best jungler just because he clears fast. Because if you have a jungle Alistair who successfully gets 5 kills for your lane in the first 4 minutes, that's
You know,
practically GG,
I
and it
used to
doesn't.
like the tier list back when like all it represented was the idea of if you pick this champion, it is probably the strongest champion that's gonna make it most likely for you to win in a ranked game. Back when that was the sort of general idea, but what it has changed to, this idea of trying to actually rank the champions in any sort of method, each champion has a different effect on the game.
Yeah.
The game changes based off of which champion you have, and it really depends more on the interplay between the different champions than it does on any individual champion's strengths or weaknesses.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think that it is fair to make it sort of tier list, and I think that if you were really smart about like being,
Classification?
really trying to classify champs within their own strengths. I mean, obviously, you look at a champion like Sejuani, and you look at her skills and what she's good at. Sejuani is one of the best initiators in the game, and then if you were to compare her to maybe an Amumu, who has a very, very, very similar skill set, um, I mean, I think you could draw some good comparisons. You could look at overall damage, CC, things like that.
Ju-
Um,
Jungle control ability.
yeah, but just just
There are
saying.
a lot of
But
factors.
what frustrates me is when they just say like, "Oh my God," it's like, Shyvana Mundo and Shyvana Mundo and Udyr are like the three best junglers in the game because all three of them can AOE camps. It's just like, it's nice if you want to really farm up and go for a late game beefy kind of strategy, and that's definitely a high level of play oriented kind of play style where you want to get tanky, you want to buy that oracles around the 7, 8 minute mark after Heart of Gold. You don't maybe want to waste money on Wriggles, something like that. They're defendable points, but then what frustrates me about it is that players will be in like 1300 Elo, where the best pick for them would probably be someone like Jungle Alistair or
Sure.
Nocturne, Jungle Pantheon. Very hard
Jungle
ganking.
Maokai would do fine.
Yeah, very hard ganking snowbally junglers who can just win a lane early on. Um, because I mean it is it's I think it's obvious that different kind of play styles, different champs, things like that work better at different elos. And if you go down to, for instance, the 1500 elo bracket and you try to win every game by farming the jungle, you are going to end, 40% of your games are going to end at 20 minutes with two AFKs and people crying that the jungler never ganked. So I mean, it's just everyone's a little bit different. I think Shyvana and Udyr are very fast clearing junglers who can be compared. I think Udyr has a little less team fight presence than Shyvana, but stronger early game ganks. And that's the sort of comparison that I think is kind of interesting to make. Not so much like Shyvana's a tier 1 jungler, Udyr's a god tier jungler, so
Yeah.
therefore blue team is going to win this game.
All right,
Um,
Milk. Here's
yeah,
your minute
okay.
warning.
Gonna grease up the old pipes. So, 2, 1, and here we go. So we do see Surreal's on Shyvana picking up exhaust actually, which does make her ganks a little bit stronger with that burnout. You can just kind of run alongside the person you're ganking and get a lot of magic damage coming out of that burnout. Wale Marno playing Udyr, so that's the matchup there for purple against blue. Bot lane, we do see Vayne Alistair. Obviously, Alistair is strong in that he can headbutt someone near a wall, and Vayne can kind of follow up with that tumble. And that is going against Caitlyn Sona. Caitlyn, obviously, quite a safe lane, lots of range. We'll see how that kind of works out. Top lane, we do see a solo top Olaf against Genocide George's solo top Warwick, Lanewick. Interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how that lane works out because Warwick obviously has a lot of free health from his Q and his auto attacks. Bad Milk is maybe going AP Shaco mid. Um, Either that or Genocide
I
George
saw
mid.
Alex Ick do it
Yeah, no, I,
just
I
the other
actually, I
day.
actually, unluckily, my jungler, I wanted Zillion, he wanted Shaco, he AFK'd and ranked, and then never traded, and I went AP Shaco. His two shift poison has a ton of burst damage. It's got a very high ratio, um, so it's not actually the worst kind of lane to play in the world. You have to be it snowballs very hard. Like many other champions who have a low cooldown, high damage, high ratio ability, it snowballs hard. But if you get behind, and especially against someone like Morgana, um, maybe it's not going to be so wise to get in there using your Q and try and crit her. You're probably going to want to save that Q for an escape after level 6. And also, I think maybe not going to see a whole lot of effectiveness out of box traps. Although we'll see, that is a very core component to AP Shaco's kit. Those boxes have a huge AP ratio, and if you can get someone like maybe their Sona or their Caitlyn, or even their Shyvana, if you can catch someone who didn't expect to see 6 boxes stacked there, it is a free kill.
It'll be interesting to see what the Shaco does, especially against Morgana, who's probably just going to be trying to push him to tower at every opportunity.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that Bad Milk is, if he plays this correctly, he's never going to die. Shyvana is not a strong ganker. Morgana is not a champion with a lot of kill potential mid lane. Because as long as you can dodge that binding, you are never going to let her get her ult off. And if she initiates with her ulti on Shaco, Shaco can just Q away for free. So I think if Bad Milk dies before the 15-minute mark, then we're going to know he did something wrong. Maybe overcommitting to a Udyr gank, or getting baited, or face checking a rush. We'll see how it goes. We also could be wrong. It isn't necessarily it doesn't have to be a AP Shaco mid.
It's true. I find it likely that it is. It could be an AD Shaco.
He does have 49 MR, and he does have, I think, probably scaling AP, and it looks like he has some spell penetration. So, I mean, all signs currently are pointing to AP mid Shaco. Although I don't think Morgana's really, the sort of person you want to play that against. I played against Karthus, and I just obliterated him. Karthus is not really the strongest early game champ. I think Morgana spotted
I don't know if he got sighted just because of the the sight lines in that brush are kind of iffy.
Okay. Apparently, oh wow! I think my my preset here didn't switch. Okay, there we go. Thanks for telling me, Drogulus. We did miss about the first minute of that game. This game, but it's fine.
Nothing exciting happening. Looks like they're they're just kind of protecting red for purple team, and blue looks like, I don't know, I thought that maybe the Shaco with the boxes was gonna, I don't know. Ooh. That didn't catch anyone, I don't think.
Yeah.
That
Udyr walking right onto a Caitlyn trap though. So they are gonna be spotted. If I was, Shyvana's going straight for
I don't know what
blue
Caitlyn's
team.
doing. Look at where she is. Just
not a whole lot of kill potential though. The Alistar is already backed off.
I don't know. Oh wow, they're moving down into blue jungle, trying to.
No, I think there's nothing that purple team, that blue team can really do to defend their blue. Shyvana clears camp so fast.
But I don't understand
why.
Oh wow,
but Udyr's actually here. Might be able to get the smite off over the wall. Does get it off. Shyvana going quite low.
I feel like that was just sloppy right there.
Yeah, usually what you want to do on any jungle invade, or even if you're just clearing your camps, is always leash the big camps into the brush.
Yeah. But
Shyvana, by the way, didn't want to smite that when Morgana and Olaf were there, because you will get less XP out of that.
I thought it was just she wanted to save her smite for her own red.
No.
Which I think she was planning on doing immediately afterwards.
I don't know, a little bit of sloppy play, but I think she was just waiting for Morgana and Olaf to maybe back out, or like you said, maybe they thought it was just a free buff and didn't want to smite it. But at any rate, you're almost never going to smite a buff, regardless of circumstance, if the people leashing are in range.
Or good counter jungling out of Wally, going up to take that blue buff.
So right now it looks like it's a buff for a buff. I think that Shyvana maybe misplayed that a little bit. I don't know why she went back. I really don't. She started claw 5. Her smite was up. She took one camp and then went back.
Oof.
I don't know. She didn't even pick up a ward or anything. I think her smite was up. Anyway, so Udyr does successfully leave with that enemy blue buff, so he is now up a significant amount of golden XP over Shyvana. Top lane. Wow, actually, we do see a lot of damage going on in Genocide George. It looks like he's not going to be comfortable. If he takes another E, Q, and Ignite, he could be dead. He definitely wants to get in range to Q a minion to get some of his health back, but I think he's just going to be popping health pots for now. Olaf landing the Q, but not going to follow up with an E as Genocide George was in turret range. Shyvana now going to go to her blue buff and say, oh, it's gone. I'm so behind. Udyr down bot is level 4. Maybe could have gone for a gank. That lane is very pushed, and there are no tri-brush wards. However, there are 2 wards, a ward and a
Vayne is quite hurt, but now she's moving in.
Yeah, they are going to be spotted by that ward.
But
but Jamal-san doesn't. I think Jamal-san didn't realize the stun goes down. A nice flash Q. That is going to be first blood, almost certainly, and there it is. Jamal-san just not paying attention. They had the ward down. No traps in the brush, but they did have the ward. Should have been spotted. No pings coming out from either Boku or I am Jamal. Or sorry, or
just
Jamal.
Focus, trying to get that Vayne underneath tower.
Yeah, so this is what Bad Milk is going to be hoping to do for a while. Just constantly throwing out his E's, which he is maxing. It's a 55 mana, 1.0 AP ratio nuke. It's a full AP scaling, which is significant. You know, that's even higher than maybe a Scion Stun, or, you know, most abilities in the game don't have 1.0 AP scaling ratios. Other than that, it is interesting to note that Shaco's ulti, when his clone explodes, that is another 1.0 APO ratio. So he does potentially have 2.0 AP burst. He also has that crit from his Q, and obviously stacking boxes deals a significant amount of magic damage in conjunction with that fear. Genocide George taking a little bit of rest. I don't know. I think he should try and force a fight right now. He has a level advantage, and he is. Oh, but Olaf deciding to just go in, misses the Q, not quite able to pick up the kill. Popped his ghost, in fact. And I don't know. I think Genocide George is just being a little bit too passive. He has full mana. This is not good play from Genocide George.
Yeah, really, as Slay would say, he's kind of playing like a girl.
As a Warwick, because of your Q, you're able to just trade your mana for health effectively. You effectively spend mana and spend a cooldown and get back.
Early oracles coming out of Udyr,
yep.
Clearing wards on that river.
Wow, this is actually a fantastic position for Udyr. This is exactly where you want to be.
Some action down bottom.
Heart of Gold into oracles is a great way to kind of build Udyr these days. He's very tanky. He's very fast. He has a lot of CC. Not really a whole lot of threats on purple team to take down that oracles, except for maybe a Morgul, maybe the Olaf. I don't know. Could mean trouble if he really truly gets caught. A nice WQ from Alistair. Actually, it looked more like just a W and then a delayed Q, which does sort of maximize the CC a little bit. However, Vayne just not in a position to follow up on it. Caitlyn, because she's gone back, she does have a Doran's Blade advantage. Udyr down bot again, has that Oracle, sees that they have no wards, and Jamal-san could get caught out of position again. And Caitlyn is being in the middle of the lane. The red buff has expired for Udyr. Moving nicely dodges that K-trap. But unfortunately, once again, I don't know why there's no coordination from this Vayne or this Alistair.
I don't know how many people are in Mumble currently.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think, by the way, we did miss a gank up top, but Shyvana just kind of wasted a little bit of time and then ran away.
Well, she has no buffs, so...
Yeah. She does have her exhaust up, but I don't think she wanted to use it offensively. Work with that ulti, not so effective against Olaf. Olaf can obviously, was recently had his Ragnarok changed so that it will now remove CC in addition to preventing
Shaco out farming Morgana.
That's a little bit funny.
Yeah, I think it just has to do with the... I don't know. Some players have more experience than other players, shall we say.
Yeah, that's very true.
Olaf's still trying to force trades up top, going really low.
Oh wow. Did Genocide George use his ulti? No, he didn't. And he still has Ignite up. This could be trouble for Olaf. Shyvana is up to counter gank. Udyr gonna pass the ward.
She is 2 full levels behind Udyr.
Wow.
And Udyr is in the area if he needs to pull an actual counter gank, but...
Oh wow, Genocide George decided to go on, and that is going to be a nice kill. sees right as the Shyvana backs off. Olaf,
Yeah.
I've been feeling a little bit too overconfident there. Thought, oh, my jungler's around, I'm safe. But instead, Genocide just went in with that ignite. Yeah, an R followed by a Q, a couple of auto attacks. Oh, Mark going, taking Bad Milk very low. Just barely
if
able.
that ult had gone off, he would have died.
Yeah. Did he use his heal? Yes, he did. So if he had some other skill, he would have also maybe died. Thankfully, that heal does save him. And he's used his ulti. Yeah, Jungle Invade. Udyr flashing in to get the stun off. He does have that red buff.
He's just stole it from Shyvana, and this Shyvana is just...
With a smite?
Yeah, with a smite.
Nice.
Again, he was waiting in the bush. Shyvana fighting it out in the open. Didn't notice the Udyr come up from behind. Smited and just was able to leave. And, I mean, he's clearing wards left and right. There's he's already cleared, I think, 2 or 3 wards up top. And he hasn't cleared anything bottom, but still, there's Dragon is completely unwarded.
Yeah. This is... I don't know, personally, in terms of game balance, this is a situation I don't really like, where one team's tanky jungler has the advantage and picks up an Oracles, and we're just going to see such a snowball effect from this Udyr.
It's true.
Because, I mean, really, I think there's no vision for a purple team. They have 1 ward down bot, they have 1 ward in their lane. Olaf has just placed a ward down, but really not as much vision as you want to see, and that could be a lot of trouble for purple team with those with those Udyr ganks. Udyr is obviously a champ who does a ton of damage and has lots of CC if you can let him get in range. He has no real gap closer, just a small move speed steroid. But if you let him get in range, then it means a world of trouble. By the way, I do want to point out, Genocide George not going lane wick, is instead going AD Warwick, it seems. So he's going to build a Wriggles.
Oh.
Maybe he likes picking up these Dorian's Blades on all of his solo tops we've seen so far.
I'm pretty sure he's just pretending he's still playing Renekton.
Yeah, probably. We'll see like a Brutalizer pick.
Yep. No. You can ban my champion.
Oh, lots of damage coming down bot, by the way. A nice zone ulti. Caitlyn should have gone back on that, and she does go back in and get the kill. Forced to flash away from Octave, though.
Octave going pretty low.
Ulti not gonna be enough from Caitlyn.
Shyvana trying to do a little bit of invading. He caught up with this Udyr, and Bad Milk coming in with that nuke. What can we say about these junglers?
What do
reals,
we say
man.
about these junglers?
You gotta get your stuff together.
Yeah. Wow, still level 5, doesn't have that ulti up to make an escape.
What's your time signature, by the way?
11:45.
Okay, same time.
Warwick ult going down. Olaf using his ulti to break out of the Warwick ult. Oh wow, lots of damage going on Udyr, but I think the Udyr... Oh wow, Udyr getting caught again. Might lose his Oracle.
Oh no, the stun.
Yeah, he
Been
does
exhausted.
get shut down there.
Well, that's good for Shyvana.
Yep,
That'll
but I
put her
think
back
that,
in gameplay still.
that Oracle's definitely paid for itself. He picked up a lot of wards.
Was able to get some successful ganks off of it.
Yeah. In terms of the gold swing that you have every time you clear a ward, obviously they cost 75 gold to buy, and you get 25 for killing them. So it is around. It's not completely fair to say that it's worth 100 gold for every ward you clear, but it's somewhere on that level, sort of depending on how much value the other team got out of that ward before it expired. So yeah, Olaf, I think definitely it's fair to say that he paid for that Oracles, even though he did die with it. I think he kept it alive for around 10 minutes or so. Oh wow, the Morgvine killing the Shaco box mid. So yeah, and this is sort of the power of Morg with blue buff. Every time Shaco goes in to use that E, which is on a 7.6 second cooldown, Morg's 11-second cooldown Black Shield is going to be up to negate pretty much all of the damage. And not only that, but Shaco doesn't really have any sustain, whereas Morg has her Spellbound passive, currently providing 20% bonus Spellbound. We do see a gank coming in down bot. not gonna get a whole lot out of it though.
Well, it was actually a counter game.
Olaf going down very low. To Genocide George.
Having to use that ult to get out again.
Yeah, Genocide George, very much winning this lane with his AD Warwick. You see he has picked up his wriggles, and he's getting about 34 health back for every auto attack. So if we look at Olaf's E, which he is maxing, 340, 10 auto attacks in, and Warwick has completely made up for the amount of damage that does. And plus,
I feel like at least some of this is just due to the Udyr, who's had such an effect on the game. Like, he's not really afraid of this Shyvana anymore. Shyvana is underleveled. Wow.
Only level 7. She does have red buff. This could be a very long chase for Genocide George. Oh, and he does flash. I don't know about that flash. I don't think it was all that necessary. But I guess just wanting to play it safe.
She did have ult, and her red is up again, so...
But also, Warwick, Warwick knew that he was very tanky. He knew that Udyr was in the area. I think he could have just maybe kited that a little bit longer and maybe try to turn it into a counter game. But I don't know. His ulti was down. His ignite was down. Bad Milk actually failing to pick up the blue buff. Has to Q over the wall. Morgana, they can see on this ward here, they don't have any vision on Morgana, but they did see her go down into that jungle. Bad Milk has to be careful. He doesn't want to walk into the Morgul. It is blind down there. If he just goes to chase and face checks that brush. Oh, but wow, a nice.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
oh.
Nice binding from the Morg. She didn't put her black shield down on herself, which I think was a mistake. That Vayne.
Udyr and Shaco moving down.
Yeah. I think Caitlyn maybe being a bit too confident after that kill. Stun goes off, a nice binding. Wale doing a nice job to kind of block the Caitlyn trap. He did a nice dodge around it. However, he is unable to block that trap. Bad Milk does use his ulti, although I don't think they're going to be dumb enough to fall for that. If they do pop it, this could be a kill. That has a huge amount of damage. Although Bad Milk not confident enough to use that Q to get in there. He does have heal and not ignite, so I think he didn't really want to Q in, get the auto attack off for the crit, and then go down.
He ignited the Caitlyn too.
Yeah. I mean, that definitely could have been a kill. I think if he had gone in with a crit, maybe got 1 or 2 auto attacks off. Oh, and Bad Milk is hanging around still. Gets the E off, but it's not as much damage, I think, as he was hoping. 52 MR. 63 MR on that Caitlyn.
How much gold is he sitting on? He's got about
1700. So he's gonna go back and I think definitely get a needlessly large run. Gonna build straight into a death cap, and then probably I want to say either Lichbane, Deathfire Grasp, or Void Staff are gonna be his next build choices.
He's making me want to play AP Shaco.
It is a lot of fun, yeah. Just in terms of build, by the way, Shaco of course has 2 very nice AP scaling ratios on 2 of his spells, plus the boxes have a nice AP ratio. Not really
a little bit of counter jungling, maybe gonna get discovered.
Oh, and it would have been a nice role reversal if there Shyvana could have put down the smite.
The smite.
Morg is gonna come in, gonna be spotted by that ward. Can she land a nice binding here? Goes for the binding. Oh, and I think Wale probably made the right call to flash out of that.
Just
Morgul
burn
was
the
up.
flash. Don't die. Don't give the Morgana her blue.
Yeah. By the way, in terms of see. You can see the true power of the damage. Nice. So I guess, I mean, at this point in the game, in these 1v1s, George has built up enough of an advantage. He's 20 CS up and 2 kills and an assist. I think we're going to be missing a lot more of those off-screen kills where George just decides to kind of commit and just pull to 0 the Olaf, or maybe get him a bit lower first and then go in. But you can see the amount of damage Bad Milk is able to throw off when Morg doesn't have her black shield. It is currently 210 plus 5 from the AD, plus 137. It's around a 400 damage. Sorry.
You think they're positioning for a dragon? I don't really know why Morg was there.
Yeah. Well, Genocide George was just able to pick up this top turret. He might be heading down to go and contest this. Yeah. Anyway, we do see that Shaco has a significant amount of damage, around 350 on his E, and it's on short cooldown.
However, it looks like Blue's going to be going for this dragon. Purple doesn't even have vision of that, so it looks like it's going to go completely free.
Yeah. Vision on purple team is kind of limited to this ward here, just above mid lane, and one ward here, just below mid lane, and not a whole lot anywhere else. Oh, although they have just put down this ward at blue. So they know Udyr is here at the wolf camp. No, although he does actually sneak out and does get spotted by this other ward. But yeah, Udyr just has free reign of the enemy jungle right now. He has his wit's end. He has his heart of gold. He's got 4 points in that turtle sense. He's very, very durable right now. It's gonna be interesting to see how blue team transitions to late game. I sort of feel that they have the stronger team fight team. It looks like Morgana is gonna want to go back at and get a Johnny's Hourglass out of that needlessly large rod. Probably the smart thing to do. But the combination of Morg and Shyvana in an AoE team fight plus the Olaf, there are a lot of big damage threats on purple team, and AP Shaco really, he bullies the lane, he bullies weak lanes very hard. You can see what he's gonna do now. He uses his ulti, he sends his clone in, he's probably just gonna try and last it. Oh no, but he kind of breaks the illusion by sending his main one in. Not quite sure what he's trying to do. Maybe just get a little bit of wave clear off using that ulti. I thought he was going to try and bait the Morgana. You can kind of make it look very, lifelike or whatever.
Yeah.
That Shaco clone, and maybe get Morgana to use an ulti on, and then go in Q and get the crit, maybe a box and things like that.
And that's on a fairly long cooldown.
Yeah, it is. I don't really know why he used that. He's also not setting up.
Generally going up in top jungle.
Oh wow, Warwick and Udyr are ready there. Shyvana does get over the wall. Warwick might be able to flash over the wall and go for the kill, and he does. Very nicely done by Genocide.
Yeah, very good play out of George.
Yeah, he gets the red buff.
Playing that, what is that, a Renekton still?
Pretty much. Although the build is quite different, he does have that Wriggles, which he didn't pick up on Renekton, and he also is building a Frozen Heart. No Brutalizer, so similar in that he's winning lane as a, an AD kind of focused build. But different in that I think he's going for a much tankier kind of team fight presence.
Well, I mean, Frozen Heart is just so core on Warwick. You want to get you want to get the CDR for the ulti,
and also
really,
mana.
And the mana just to help you in lane. And on top of all of that, it's going to make it so even when you jump into the middle of their entire team, you're going to have the effect of slowing down all of their auto attacks. On top of the fact that you're going to be very tanky.
Caitlyn actually doing a great job, by the way, of out-CSing Vayne. Vayne at 120, Caitlyn at 158. Caitlyn actually in the lead this game. She doesn't have a kill. She in fact has one death, but she is able to, kind of out-farm. In terms of the gold she's got right now, she's sitting at 5.6k. Highest in the game is this Udyr at 6.2. Oh, sorry, the Warwick at 6.6. So about 1,000 damage down below this Warwick, but still a very good job.
Did you just like?
No.
Okay, I just saw like.
Where'd you see it?
Mid lane, Shaco is running.
No, that was his clone resetting.
No, he was sitting there running. The clone was sitting there running for a while. I don't know what happened. Look, Olaf a little bit mad about the.
Yeah, you can see he only has 24 magic resist and he has 100 MR. Like he only itemized 24 magic resist, so that means he's got 76 MR from runes and masteries, which is a ton of magic resist kind of passive. And I guess he just wasn't expecting Genocide George to build that Wriggles and go for more of an AD build. But I mean, Warwick does always, regardless of what items you build or how you spec him, he does have a lot of magic damage.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of like Aurelia in the way that just his auto attacks do multiple types of damage, and because of that, trading with him is difficult even in the best of times because you're gonna need both forms. And Warwick going in again, just trying to get that longer cooldown.
Focusing, why don't you play like this in rank, George? I think Olaf is a little maybe overconfident. He's waiting for that Shyvana gank. What is Shyvana gonna do up here though? Where's the exhaust? The Ignite goes down, that is a dead Olaf for sure.
I don't really know what Olaf was doing at all.
I think maybe he put too much confidence into his jungler. He was very behind. We do see a lot of damage going down in a Morg though. I don't know, Bad Milk just not really doing a very good job with micromanaging his clone. He's just making it very obvious that this is in fact a clone, not the real Shaco. Not really using it to its full advantage. He might be able to find Shyvana. No, instead he queues in. This could be bad for him. Shyvana's there. Gets the box down. Probably gonna fear the.
She even has exhaust.
Oh wow, but a very good job from Bad Milk, understanding the strength.
Taking big damage with that box too.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna turn around. Here comes Udyr with the flash. She's gonna jump away, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough. That Shaco's so mobile. Udyr's still chasing. They're gonna back off though.
So Downside Horse has now picked up that frozen heart. By the way, he has 250 armor, which is significant. When you mouse over the armor in the spectator client, it doesn't give you the amount of percent reduction. But oh well, it's significant. I don't think
if you hit C on the character.
The amount of the percent reduction.
Oh, you mean percent reduction from based off of the value,
yeah.
like in.
Well, actually, I'm the biggest nerd in the world. It's 100 divided by 100 plus armor equals percent reduction. So I can tell that is 67% physical damage reduction on that Warwick. Very significant, considering Purple Team really doesn't have any source of magic damage. They have true damage from Olaf, and they have
Blue's
that
gonna
Warwick.
get a free Baron. Looks like. Just the combination of that Warwick and the Udyr, you know.
And the Shaco clone. Although it is a AP Shaco, so not doing a whole lot. Bad Milk, gotta be careful here. If Baron auto attacks him once more, he's dead. But sticking. Oh, and Caitlyn, we
Jamal
missed the
going
kill.
down the Vayne.
They did just pick up that Baron too, and that is a
And
surrender. I mean, blue team just snowballing so hard with that Udyr, especially with that Orbital. Not a whole lot purple team can do to come back from it. So an interesting game. Interesting to see AP Shaco. Didn't really ever see him live to his fullest. I mean, Morgana's a very difficult
we didn't really get to big team fights in that instance.
No, but Shaco is not. AP Shaco is not really a team fighter. He's more about maybe putting down the boxes, harassing with that E. But I guess Morgana is a perfect counterpick to that. If we look at the the gold differences, we see 6.6k to 6.8k. So actually, Jamal-san, I'm gonna say beat Vayne down bot lane. At the very end there, we did see him die. But I mean, when you're on the losing team like that, when the opponent has just got dragon after dragon and lots of sort of turrets,
and to still come out with the highest CS in the game.
Yeah, and I mean that's sort of what Caitlyn does, and it really is all she did. 25 minutes of farm. But still, a decent job. Lots of pressure from that Udyr with the oracles.
It's just interesting that it would be the lanes just look really weird to me. The idea that normally you'd pair Caitlyn with more of an aggressive support in order to try and get those early kills because that's when she's most dominant. And Vayne, on the other hand, is kind of a hyper carry. So maybe you give her something like Soraka so that she can, stay in lane and farm all day.
No, I do think Alistair Vayne used to be, around the time Vayne was released, she had these huge steroids in her kit. She's been nerfed a lot since then, but I do remember Alistair Vayne and Taric Vayne, two of the strongest combinations, and we didn't really see it come into play that much this game. But if Alistair can hit a nice headbutt, not a headbutt pulverized, but just a headbutt, knock you towards the wall, Vayne can actually get a condemn and do something like 500 burst damage at level 9.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, Vayne Alistair is a very, very, very successful lane. Just didn't really work out in favor of blue team.
Well, it seems like Caitlyn's got all the tools she needs to keep that lane from being entirely successful.
Yeah, so Vayne was the first pick, and I think Jamal-san counterpicked very nicely with Caitlyn and just didn't let that Caitlyn Alistair really kill. But I mean, totally, it is one of the strongest kill lanes in the game.
Sona, of course, being the MVP for the purple team
with 101.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we really didn't even just pay attention to bot lane. It was just one whole big farm fest all game.
It was a big farm fest, which is always the most painful thing to end the game on. You're like, I have been farming for the last 25 minutes.
Yeah.
I have fought 2 fights this entire game, and now the game is over.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's see. I was up by 20 CS. Saber-tooth Pie blaming the jungler. I don't know about
You
that.
know,
I seem to have a alternate recollection of exactly how that lane worked, but
all
anyway.
right. So Sabretooth Pie definitely the lane was not in his favor, but a lot of it was just he needed help from the jungle, and it wasn't
Mhm,
there, and that was just kind of
mhm.
the Surreals had some serious issues, losing a bunch of buffs early, getting counter jungled super hard, going back super early, and a lot of that was what enabled Udyr.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
a 3K goal difference on Udyr compared to Shyvana is just huge. And really, the biggest thing I think Surreals can learn from this game is always pull your camps into
yeah,
the
pull your
brush.
camps into
Pull your
buffs.
camps into the brush regardless. No one's missing. Doesn't matter. Pull your camp into the brush. It's a good habit. Doesn't really waste
Yeah,
any time. Gives you a big kind of big amount of self confidence, and plus you actually take less damage pulling camps into the brush because you get to kite them for you dodge an
yeah.
extra auto attack or two.
And the thing about Shyvana is that her ganks are very similar to a lot of other junglers in that they don't get strong till 6.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like her ganks up until then are okay because she's got that Q which she's leveling, so she'll move pretty fast. But other than burnout, she's got no real way
Yeah.
of get
Although
like
although I will
getting.
admit, if you've ever played mid, and you see a Shyvana coming out of the jungle, even at just level 2, level 3, level 4, whatever, early game, if she puts her exhaust on you and gets that red buff, her twin bite is gonna hurt so bad.
Yeah,
So I mean, it works. It's a very powerful gank if and only if you're kind of out of position or in a
yeah. I
lane
mean,
with hard CC. So I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, Shyvana just not really having any good chances to gank any of the lanes this game, and really that combined with the fact that she didn't really have the buff control or the jungle control she wanted to, did mean
And
she
then
fell behind.
Udyr's ability to control the wards earlier on
Mhm.
was enabled. I think it was one or two good ganks on top, as well as the fact that the lane was already starting to turn against Sabretooth Pie. So
All right.
I it was an interesting game. It was
Yeah.
kind of short.
Kind of short, kind of snowbally. Although only not a whole lot of kills. Lots of action up top, but not a whole lot of kills.
Yeah.
But at any rate, I am going to end with my now I'm sure totally famous and totally awesome
Yeah, man.
closing
You're
tag.
gonna be able to put that thing on shirts soon.
Exactly, it's gonna be like the Bay life of Milkcast.
Oh God.
No, I don't worry. I'll never. I'll if it gets taken that far, you can just look at me and be like, "It used to be about the casting, man," and we can have like a big falling out. But anyway, hopefully that day
Huh.
never comes. I'm gonna say GGWP and end the
Mm,
recording here,
cool.
and I'm going
Interesting.